Welcome back. This episode is going to take you through the last week that I was at my hospital. I'm going to take you on a quick little tour of my room here. There's my nightstand with a bunch of stuff for nighttime on there. Um, Got a TV that they provide, pretty small. Never used it, to be honest. That's a TV they expect you to watch. Brought in some Gatorades, stuff on the top shelf there, cards people giving me, tons of artwork that my kids, niece, nephew, some of my friends' kids made for me. My wife brought in pictures from the kids and family up at home there, so got that up top. Brought in a plug-in cooler early on to keep that nice and cold. Lots of goodies in there. That was awesome. Tried to make the room as bright and colorful as possible, just anything that did not look like a hospital room. Inside the locker, I got my hats in there, Caesars on the top shelf, goodies on the bottom, nothing much in there, pretty small locker. Brought my PlayStation and my TV early on, got the double room, so we pushed the bed to the side, got an old roommate. That's my pad. As you can tell from that video, it's hard to stay in a hospital room, let alone staying in one for over 8 months. I quickly had to change my mindset on where I was staying and what I was kind of going through. So very early on, I really broke down my week and just did Monday to Friday. I dedicated to my physio and being at the hospital. And I treated Saturday and Sunday as the weekend. And I just didn't do any physio on the weekends. I tried to see friends and go outside and just do a lot of stuff on the weekends to really separate the whole week. And for my mental health, it was a game changer for me. I did that very early on. Also, bringing my TV in and my PlayStation and kind of making my hospital room feel more like a hotel room or a bachelor apartment. I know it's crazy to say that, but I really tried to do that to just get me out of the mindset that I was being stuck in a hospital for 8 months. August 4th was fast approaching, and my time at the hospital was coming to an end. My family wanted to leave the nursing staff that took care of me and my physio team something to remember us by. So we got something done up for them and gave them to both departments. And spent the last week really just taking pictures with everybody, talking to everyone, reminiscing about the last 8 months. It was hard because, I mean, to be honest, I was there for 8 months in a very hard time of my life. They took care of me, and not only physically but mentally. I was very vulnerable in a lot of times, and it's hard to put into words what they did for me. They probably don't realize it because they do that every day, and that's their job, and that's why they're so good at what they do. My wife is a nurse, and I thought I understood the role of a nurse, but until you're put in a situation like I was in, where I am the patient, and you really understand what a nurse does, and like firemen, police officers, teachers. I mean, they're heroes. They're frontline workers, and they do a lot of good things and a lot of positive things for people like myself that are put in a very hard situation. I was so ready for this next chapter. I was ready to turn the page and start this new adventure in my rehab facility. I knew I was ready, not only because physically and mentally I was ready, but I had been in that area for so long that when you're out and about, you see kind of the same people out on the streets. There's 4, 5, 6 different people that we kind of saw regularly, just not in a good situation, obviously. You just saw the same people. And I quickly realized that I was turning into one of those people. If you went by College Street at any part of the day in the afternoon or early evening in front of UFT, you'd see Jay sitting there with a family member in a wheelchair. That was kind of our spot that we kind of went and hung out at. And I had many people come up to me later in my stay at the hospital saying like, "Hey, I saw you in front of college." And it just kind of was kind of a running joke. So I knew it was time for me for a change because I was kind of becoming a fixture in that certain area of Toronto. Being in the same room for over 6 months, I had to leave my mark. So we signed my name with the date and how many days I'd stayed in the hospital on the wall. So the nurses, go ahead, try to find it in the room. It's there. Hopefully, they don't repaint the room anytime soon, and that signature stays up for many, many years to come. Moving day was here. My nurse came into the room to let me know that the transport team was here to take me to my rehab facility. Before the stretcher could get in there, though, all the nursing staff that were working that day on my floor all came into my room. It was amazing. They had to turn me one last time to put the sling underneath me, and there was about 5 or 6 on one side, 6 on another. There was like 12 people in my room turning me and getting me in the sling, and everyone wanted to have a hand and trying to get me into the stretcher. It was amazing. It was just such a humbling experience. They were all concerned because the stretcher seemed a little narrow and the rails on the stretcher didn't go as high as they thought. So they were all concerned that Jay was going to fall out, and it was pretty comical. So as they were taking me out of the room on the stretcher, all the nursing staff clapped me out of the room. It was pretty emotional. It was an amazing, amazing experience. We got to the elevator, and the transport team was just saying that they've done this for a lot of years and they've never seen anyone clapped out of a room like that before. So it made me feel really good. And it was part of me was sad because I was, sad to see all the nursing staff, like wasn't going to see them on a day-to-day interaction anymore, my physio team. So thank you again to everybody at the hospital that took care of me during my stay. But I'm not going to lie, part of me was, or a lot of me was very excited to get out of there and start this next chapter on my next journey at my rehab facility. So next chapter begins. So I was super, super excited for this next chapter to start. For Jay's Picks of the Week, Netflix, Power Project, Crave, Momentum Generation. Thank you for watching my episode, and please subscribe below.